How's it going, everybody? I'm the BTC Reaper, and my goal on this channel is to teach you how to reap the rewards of trading, whether the price is going up or down. So we'll start on the Dixie. We did make a bounce, so that is positive. Remember, Dixie and Bitcoin were acting a little more correlated. Right now, they are seeming to break that correlation. We'll need to see if that continues. If it does, then if Dixie pulls back, we would see crypto push up. But if the correlation does remain, we would see crypto and Dixie push up together. We do have a slight gap above us, so I would watch for a rejection of this EMA. RSI and stochastic are pushing forward. VWAP is pushing up. That yellow wave momentum does want to gain strength, and money flow is trying to break bullish. So we do look positive. Watch for that to continue on lower time frames. Over on the 4-hour, we have two EMAs trying to cross. That is trying to make a bullish cross. If we get that cross, we could push forward. VWAP is remaining bullish. Momentum is trying to push up, and money flow is trying to gain strength. So watch that 2 and 1 hour. Over on the 2-hour, momentum is running up very strong, but that VWAP is very weak. I would watch. We have lower highs with lower lows. Momentum does want to pull back as a result, so if that VWAP does not cross neutral and push up, we likely would see momentum continue lower and money flow would weaken. That would in turn weaken the higher time frames. Remember, if we see that inverse relationship, that would push crypto up. We do have a bit of a symmetrical triangle here, so that could push us up or down. We do have a little bit of a break forward from that triangle, so that does create a bull pendant that could push us 103. However, if we do see the breakdown, we would push to 102 and attempt to break lower. Momentum is losing strength. VWAP wants to pull back. Money flow is bullish, but if that VWAP continues to get lower highs and lower lows, momentum and money flow will break down, and we will see the higher time frames weaken. Over on Bitcoin dominance, we are seeing a push forward, so this is somewhat positive. We do have indecision, though. Remember, dominance just shows if Bitcoin would do better than altcoins. So we did try to push up. We really didn't gain very much. Right now, total is doing better than Bitcoin, but futures is kind of helping there. Stochastic does want to run. RSI is pulling back. Momentum does have bearish divergence. Watch that, as we do have a red dot, and that VWAP does want to break down. If that VWAP continues lower, momentum will break down and money flow will follow. That would result in Bitcoin dominance sliding, and our altcoins could do better than Bitcoin. We do have some ETH ETFs where ETH ETFs are doing better than Bitcoin ETFs right now, so that is positive. We did say to watch for that. So if we see dominance start to weaken, but Bitcoin increases and total increases ahead of Bitcoin, we would possibly have an alt season coming. Momentum does have a double green dot. VWAP wants to break neutral. Money flow is pushing up, stochastic is pushing up, and RSI does want to gain strength. We did try to push from our descending channel. We did get our full break up, so we will delete it, but we are pretty indecisive, and we could end up pulling back. Watch those lower time frames, as we did push to the 300 EMA, and we got rejected by that EMA. Remember, that's a critical level you want to hold above if you're going to see bullish momentum, and as total does lead to altcoins, this could end up leading altcoins lower. Over on the 4-hour, we are struggling with our EMAs. They did try to make a bullish cross, but they kind of tapered off and fell flat. Stochastic is pulling back. Momentum wants to weaken. VWAP is starting to push down. I would watch VWAP as it did ramp down, and now it's holding bearish. If it continues to hold bearish, momentum will break down, money flow will weaken, and the daily will start to push lower. Over on our 2-hour, we do have a long lower shadow, so that is positive. That does show that the bears tried to push us down, but buyers are trying to step in and push us up. If we can see a strong green candle from here and break that yellow EMA, then we could push forward. Otherwise, if we push to the EMA and reject, it's likely we would see lower highs with lower lows. RSI does want to pull back. Stochastic is starting to round, so watch that bullish cross. If we do not hold above 30, RSI and stochastic could lead price lower. Our momentum is breaking bearish. VWAP is favoring bearish, and money flow does want to break bullish, but if that VWAP rejects here and makes a lower high, momentum will cause money flow to sell off, and that will result in weakening higher time frames. Over on our 1-hour, stochastic is pushing up, starting to curl. Watch that close. RSI does want to pull back, so if that stochastic makes a bearish cross, we will see RSI bring price lower. Our money flow and VWAP do want to push up. Momentum is bearish, but if that VWAP can maintain a bullish trend here, getting higher highs and higher lows, then momentum could push up and money flow could strengthen. That would help those higher time frames. Right now, we do look positive despite the drop down, as that money flow and VWAP are remaining more bullish. We do have a stronger high compared to here. So if we make a stronger low, momentum could push forward and we could start to strengthen higher time frames. That would give our altcoins a run up. So over on Bitcoin futures for the daily, we did kind of pull back a little. We really didn't go very far. At best, this could be a long lower shadow candle, but the top of the candle is very weak. RSI does want to pull back, stochastic is pushing up, VWAP does want to push neutral, momentum does want to round, and money flow is trying to gain strength, but if that VWAP rounds away, and money flow will continue to taper away. And that would result in Bitcoin selling off, because remember, futures does lead Bitcoin. Over on the 4 hour, we did get that break of our 57K if you missed that, and we did not hold. That is a critical rejection as well, so I would watch. Stochastic does want to pull back, RSI is pulling back, VWAP is favoring bearish, momentum is dropping down, and money flow is favoring bearish as well. So if that VWAP continues to drop here, we will see momentum and money flow weaken, and that will result into higher time frames starting to weaken as well. Over on our 2 hour, we do have a lower high right now, so I would watch if we get a lower low. We could end up seeing a bearish trend. That lower low would end up breaking 52K. And if we did break that 52K, filling these wicks, making a lower low, we could see a bearish continuation trend, so watch out for that. Stochastic does want to push up, VWAP is trying to push forward, momentum is gaining strength, and money flow does want to push up. So if that VWAP can create a bullish trend, we could see a run forward. However, if that VWAP falls flat, we will see continued sell-off. Over on the 1 hour here, we do have a long lower shadow, but we also have a gap below us. Remember, gaps do tend to fill, so there is a high chance we could drop down and then try to push up after. If we do that, we could make a higher low, followed by higher highs. If we do get that higher low with higher highs and break that 57 and hold, then we could see that push to 61. Otherwise, we likely will round away. RSI is pulling back, stochastic does want to push up, VWAP is trying to break neutral, momentum does want to get a green dot, signaling it wants to push up, but if that VWAP rejects with the lower high, that green dot would get invalidated and money flow would weaken, so I would still watch very close. Over on Bitcoin for the daily, we did push our 57.1, just like futures. RSI is falling, stochastic does want to run up, VWAP is pushing forward, momentum is trying to gain strength, and our money flow is bearish, but if that VWAP can get higher high with higher lows from here, momentum could push up and money flow could gain strength. Watch those lower time frames, you need higher highs with higher lows. Over on the 4 hour, we are trying to make a higher low, so watch if we can continue up. Just like futures, VWAP does want to break down, momentum is rounding, money flow is pulling back. Stochastic does have a bearish cross, causing RSI and price action to drop, so I would exercise caution there. Over on the 2 hour, we do have a manipulation X that does want to break us down. That did give us a bearish cross on EMAs, so again, watch those EMAs close. Stochastic does want to pull back, but we have a bullish cross, blue above orange. If that can break 30 and hold, RSI could push up, price action could continue to bounce, and we could see higher highs. However, if that stochastic rounds away, it's likely we would make a lower high with lower lows. Momentum does want to push forward, but that VWAP is struggling. Watch that VWAP close. It needs to break through that neutral, get a higher high with higher lows to push momentum and money flow up. Otherwise, we could sell off. Over on our 1 hour, RSI is pulling back, stochastic wants to round, VWAP is trying to break bullish, that does look positive, as that money flow has been in a bullish trend. So if that VWAP can create a bullish trend here, momentum will push up, money flow could gain strength, and that would push higher time frames forward. That would give us kind of a bottom here, a local bottom, that could try to help push us forward. So over on graph for the daily, we are seeing a little bit of a rejection of our 14,316. I would exercise caution. RSI is pulling back, stochastic is trying to push up. VWAP does want to gain strength. Momentum is pushing with a double green dot. So I would watch if that VWAP can continue a bullish trend, getting a higher high with these higher lows, then momentum could push up and money flow could gain strength. That would help push us forward. Over on the 4 hour, stochastic is starting to round away. I would watch. We have orange above blue. RSI is pulling back. VWAP is getting a lower low. Momentum is breaking down, and money flow is remaining bearish. So watch the lower time frames. If they continue to favor bearish, we likely will continue to weaken. Over on the 2 hour, stochastic is dropping away. Our RSI is weakening. VWAP is favoring bearish. Momentum is pulling back, and money flow does want to stay bearish. So I would watch that VWAP close. If we get a lower high and pull back here, we likely will see momentum continue to weaken those higher time frames. Over on our 1 hour, we do have a manipulation X that did bring us lower, and we continue to reject EMAs from there. RSI is dropping down, stochastic's pretty beat down. Our VWAP yellow wave does want to break neutral, pushing momentum higher, getting a double green dot. If that momentum can continue forward, that double green dot would suggest it would push up and try to strengthen our money flow, which is between green and red, kind of fighting for a trend. Remember, if we flip green, we would tend to see more buying pressure. Over on Ankr for the daily, we do have lower lows here, so I would watch with lower highs. This could end up breaking some sort of a bearish trend if this continues, much like the rest of the market. Our VWAP does want to push up, stochastic is pushing up, momentum does have a double green dot, and RSI is starting to pull back, but stochastic can remain bullish. We could see that RSI make a bounce forward. Over on the 4 hour, we do have a potential higher low with this lower high, so watch for a higher high, just like everything else. Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is falling, momentum does want to break neutral, VWAP is pulling back, and money flow is selling off. So overall, I would just exercise caution and watch if we can hold above that 23.38. Our RSI in the 2 hour is weakening, stochastic is pushing down, VWAP is favoring bearish with a lower low and trying to curl, so watch if we get a lower high. That would cause further sell-off. Momentum would then push lower and money flow could deepen in the red. That would weaken higher time frames and cause a push down to our 2020 again. Over on the 1 hour, we do have consolidation after a push down. Watch out, that could create a bear flag. The bear flag could push us to our next support area, possibly that gap zone around that 22.23. But the positive is, if we do drop down there, we have a gap above us around this 23.50 that we could push back up to. VWAP does want to push up, momentum is gaining strength, stochastic does want to push forward, and RSI does want to push up. So we do look positive, just watch because we do have a lot of indecision candles going on here. Over on XRP, we got to run up because XRP lawsuit is finally over. If you're not in our Discord, you missed that link. So we did break up past our 54 and 57 resistance. RSI is pushing up, stochastic is pushing up, VWAP does want to gain strength, momentum is pushing with a green dot, and money flow is trying to continue forward. This does look positive. I would just exercise caution with this quick run up because the rest of the market, if it continues to sell off, likely would end up pulling this back. Remember, it will stay in line with the rest of the market, but it has been beat down due to the lawsuit. Our stochastic is pretty bullish here on the 4 hour. RSI is pushing forward as a result, giving us that run up. Momentum is gaining strength. VWAP is pushing with higher highs and higher lows. We did get a consolidation range after a push forward that created a little bull flag that gave us our push up. Money flow does want to push up, so the 4 hour does look positive. Remember, watch the lower time frames for that to continue. Over on the 2 hour, we do have a reversal arrow. Watch out, as if we see further red candles and break that 57, we could end up retracing some gains. RSI is pulling back, stochastic does want to push forward, but it's starting to round, so keep an eye on it. Momentum does want to push, but that's starting to round as VWAP does want to pull back, so watch that VWAP. If we break that neutral and then we can't get back above it, momentum will pull back and money flow would fall flat. However, if that VWAP can stay bullish, we could continue forward. Over on the 1 hour, VWAP is in the bullish territory. We are testing that neutral, so watch the next several candles close. If we make a bounce and get a higher low, then we could continue further. That would strengthen higher time frames and give us the possibility of that 67 and possibly some other areas like our 71, 75. Momentum is pushing up. That will be dependent on VWAP. Money flow is bullish, so we do look positive. We do have a bullish trend going for us. Finally, on ALGO for the daily, we do have some consolidation. Unless you have a request, drop in chat. Thanks for watching. We do have a long upper shadow, so I would exercise caution. That could end up breaking us down if followed by a red candle. VWAP is bullish, momentum has a double green dot suggesting it wants to push up, and money flow does want to push forward, but that will be dependent on that VWAP remaining bullish. RSI is weakening and stochastic is pretty beat down. Over on our 4 hour, we did see an EMA rejection, so that did try to get a bullish cross. That bullish cross failed, and we continued lower. Stochastic is pulling back, RSI is pulling back, momentum does want to round with that red dot, suggesting it could break our neutral as that VWAP continues to weaken, and that will cause money flow to continue to deepen in the red and weaken the 4 hour and the daily. Over on the 2 hour, we are rejecting our EMAs. We keep trying to hit the green EMA and just keep falling flat. Momentum is breaking down. VWAP is getting a lower low, so watch if we get a lower high, reject that neutral. We would see continued sell-off then. Stochastic is pulling back and RSI is selling off, so watch the 1 hour and 2 hour very close here. Finally, on the 1 hour, stochastic is pushing down. That's RSI is weakening. Our stochastic is pretty beat down, so if it does not rebound, our RSI will continue lower and bring price action lower. VWAP is trying to break neutral and momentum does want to get a double green dot. Watch that VWAP. If we can get a higher high with higher lows, then momentum could try to push forward and money flow could remain green. However, if that VWAP rejects here, we will see momentum remain bearish and money flow will continue to weaken. That would weaken our higher time frames as a result. Thank you for watching again. I hope you all have